You know that feeling when you press play on a movie just to have something in the background, and 20 minutes later, you are completely glued to the screen? That is exactly what happened to me with these films. I went in with zero expectations, and they completely blew me away. Let's get right into it. Imagine you are a head chef on the busiest night of the year. Health inspectors are breathing down your neck, customers are demanding impossible orders, and your kitchen staff is on the verge of a full-blown breakdown. You are trying to hold it together, but every single thing that could go wrong does. The catch? Boiling Point is shot in one single unbroken take. I expected a standard restaurant drama. What I got was a pure anxiety attack. You feel every single second of the stress. Picture this. You just lost your job, you are facing eviction, and you happen to run into a wealthy, bored couple at a local bar. They start offering you and a friend easy cash for harmless dares. Drink this, get 50 bucks. Insult that guy, get 100. But as the night goes on, the dares get darker, more dangerous, and incredibly twisted. Cheap Thrills is a pitch-black comedy that asks one brutal question: how far would you go for a paycheck? It is gritty, uncomfortable, and impossible to look away from. You are on a massive, state-of-the-art airplane cruising at 37,000 feet. You wake up from a nap and your 6-year-old daughter is gone. You ask the crew, they search the entire plane, but then they check the flight records and tell you she was never on the flight. You know you brought her on board, but everyone else is acting like you are crazy. Flight Plan plays with your perception of reality until the very last act. I thought this would be a generic thriller, but Jodie Foster's performance sells the paranoia perfectly. Imagine surviving a horrific plane crash in the middle of nowhere, only to end up stranded on an isolated, terrifying island. You and the other survivors think the worst is over. But then the sun goes down, and you realize you are not alone. Something is out there in the dark, and it is hunting you. Survival horror is a tough genre to get right, but Send Help delivers. It strips away all the typical Hollywood cliches and leaves you with raw, brutal tension. You are in a struggling punk rock band, playing a gig at a sketchy venue in the middle of nowhere just to afford gas money. The crowd is hostile, the vibe is off, but you get through the set. Then you walk into the green room to grab your stuff and witness something you were never supposed to see. Now, the venue owners, who happen to be ruthless neo-Nazis, lock you inside. I expected a standard slasher. Instead, Green Room is a masterclass in claustrophobic terror. It is unforgiving, and Patrick Stewart is genuinely terrifying. Think you know sports biopics? Toss those expectations out the window. Imagine dedicating your entire life, every waking moment, and every drop of sweat to ping pong. Yes, table tennis. Marty Supreme follows the chaotic, high-stakes, and surprisingly dangerous world of a ping pong champion who takes the game way too seriously. A movie about this sounded like a total joke to me, but it is directed with the same manic, anxiety-inducing energy as Uncut Gems. It is completely unhinged and wild. Picture growing up in a quiet town where nothing bad ever happens. Your dad is the local scoutmaster, respected by everyone in the community. You look up to him, but one day you find a highly disturbing photo hidden in his truck. Then you start digging into the town's dark past. Could the man who raised you be a notorious, unsolved serial killer? The Clove Hitch Killer is a slow burn, but the psychological dread builds up perfectly. It is a terrifying look at the monsters hiding in plain sight. Imagine moving into a luxurious mansion to work as a live-in maid. The family seems perfect. The husband is charming, the house is gorgeous, but the wife is dangerously unpredictable. One day she is sweet, the next day she is screaming at you over nothing. Then you realize the creepiest detail. The door to your tiny attic room only locks from the outside. I thought I knew exactly where the housemaid was going. I was wrong. It is a slick, twisted, psychological game that will leave you frustrated in the best way possible. You wake up in a locked hotel room next to the lifeless body of your secret lover. The door is bolted from the inside, the windows are sealed. There is no escape route, the police are knocking, and you are the only suspect. You have exactly 3 hours to tell your high-powered defense attorney the absolute truth before you are arrested. Spanish cinema excels at mysteries, and The Invisible Guest is their absolute crown jewel. It is a puzzle box where every single conversation matters. Imagine being a privileged, wealthy teenager who feels absolutely zero emotion. Nothing makes you happy, nothing makes you sad. You reconnect with a childhood friend who is the exact opposite, dangerously impulsive and chaotic. Together, you realize you can solve each other's biggest problem by planning a flawless murder. Thoroughbreds flew completely under my radar when it came out. It is sharp, deeply cynical, and visually stunning. Anya Taylor-Joy and Olivia Cooke are phenomenal in this cold-blooded thriller. So, those are the movies that completely shattered my low expectations. Which one are you watching tonight? Or do you have a movie that surprised you like this? Let me know in the comments. Do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.